very renowned agriculture scientist, Dr. Bukela. He's a senior scientist from ICRISAT, worked for more than 25 years. There's a lot of work on sustainable agriculture, and he is an authority on this subject, I can say. Now, I thank on behalf of all the NIRD and all of you, I thank Dr. Bukela for having his time here to come out all the way from such a long distance. And definitely, his inputs will be very, very useful to all of us. Thank you very much.
Nice to see so many countries present here.
Would you like a brief introduction of them, sir? Just to let you know how they
Yes, sir.
By guests and very departed for the underscore Philippines.
I'm from now. I work at economics, agriculture, education and cooperative.
I'm Jainullah Bidi from Bangladesh, Rural Development and Cooperative Division.
I am Mahmoud Rashidul Alam, Bangladesh Rural Development Board, Bangladesh.
My name is Vibon China, the person from Thailand, Department of Agriculture.
I am Andhra from Department of Agriculture, Sri Lanka.
Tamil Nadu, Chennai, from RGNI.
My name is Nana, I come from Vietnam. I go for rural development tourism.
Leke Resho from Fiji. I work for the rural marketing.
I'm Jan, I come from Vietnam. I work for rural development.
And Kojiki comes from Myanmar.
Good morning, sir. Myself, Validation, senior faculty from Andaman Nicobar Islands.
Remotest of our country.
I'm Zasman Hamidi. I'm the Emirati Karim Emirati Minister of Rural Rehabilitation.
So one thing common I see all of you is you are related to rural development in your esteemed countries you come from. As I have been introduced already to you all, I am agriculture scientist by training, and if I further fine-tune agriculture, is microbiology. So I have been trained as a microbiologist dealing with agriculturally beneficial microorganisms. And how I am going to be relevant to you, we will. I have tried to make myself relevant to you through the work we did at ICRISAT for 10 years. We did a long-term experiment at 10 years, evaluating the modern agriculture with the other agriculture. I would not call it traditional agriculture. I will also not call it organic agriculture. I am using the word other agriculture, or the agriculture which is also based on research findings, but somehow they have not caught the attention of the companies or mainstream system and are not promoted proactively. So it is quote unquote alternative agriculture. So much of my talk I am going to talk to you, it will be on alternatives. Some of the thoughts also I may be provoking some of you, because you are more with the rural communities in your countries to work with, so I will try to learn from you. I'm sure I'm not come as a teacher here, so don't treat me as a teacher. I'm also a learner, one of you. You have come to learn here, I guess, so treat me as one of you. I'm also a learner. So I believe very strongly, and before I left ICRISAT in 2008, for 2 years I was heading what we call it Learning Systems Unit. It was a training program, earlier name was training program, but with time, ICRISAT learned that people who come to ICRISAT for training, they come with a lot of their own experience and rich experience of their own countries. So they don't come for training alone, they come for teaching also. So this is how I believe strongly. So please treat this as a two-way traffic and not one way. That will be my request. And many of my slides I will only use just for the purpose of information for you. And I request you, don't spend any time in recording what is given in the slides, because all of you will have a copy of it. So don't spend time. Do spend time on any questions you have, any clarifications you want, any comments you want to share. So spend your energies and attention in that. And from my experience, I'm suddenly reminded that some of you come from countries where English is not commonly spoken. So particularly Vietnam, maybe Myanmar, Afghanistan also, I guess, where English is not very common. Local languages are the more common. So some of you, if I am speaking very fast, ask me to slow down. Am I very fast, by the way, or you can understand me? Am I fast, madam? Am I okay? Okay, great. Nice. So I will try to keep this speed and lower, not more than this. If I am going more speed than this, ask me to do like this only. Don't have to speak up. With your hand, do like this, I will understand. Okay? I was mentioning to you that I am a microbiologist by training and dealing with agriculturally beneficial microorganisms. And my experience told me that the modern agriculture was harming my agriculturally beneficial microorganisms that live in the soil, that live on the crop, on the leaves of the dust particles that fall on the leaves of the crops or of the trees, or the root system. When it grows, they live on the surface of the roots in large population, and it is every gram of soil generally contains a lot of population. It could be in terms of millions. So million is 10 raised to power 6. So every gram of soil which is touching the root system is around that population. But the moment you go a little away from the root surface, if this my finger is a root surface, the soil which is touching is having population in millions. But few centimeters away, it will be 10 to 100 times less. And such knowledge told us that the control mechanism, that who would form association with the roots or with the plant, is decided by the plant and not by the microorganisms. And there are some more indications also. Now, how all these things relates to rural development, I will come and tell you soonest. And title which I have decided to interact with you or call it Sustainable and Respectable Rural Life Through Ecological Farming. It's not modern agriculture, it is ecological farming. The place we all live in the villages, it has its own ecology. This room has its own ecology, for example. So if we are very friendly with each other, respectful to each other's language, each other's country, it's one ecology. There can be other extreme ecology on the other side if we do not respect all the things I stated. Our country boundaries, our different languages, our different cultures. If we don't respect, that's a different ecology altogether. So what ecology we are talking of is a common thing, many things, but I am talking ecological farming. So this could be an ecology where we live together or don't live together. And I am talking of a different kind of agriculture and not modern agriculture. I come to share with you what is my country. And there are all the, in the slide, all the red bullet points in the blue font are the data, okay, demographic data of this country. And I would be keen to learn the demographic data or some of the things which I would ask you for your countries, briefly. And some of the things I have written in blue font are also the informations, but I feel ashamed of those informations. But what to do? This is what is the situation, so we have to accept. And but still keep moving and keeping that ecology kind of things, the concept I indicated to you, such a way, change it such a way that we become a better nation and together we become a better world. So that's the reason I have still shared with you the weaknesses of my country. What it tells you is that some of the things, the questions, now these are in front of you, I will not read the digits or things, I would like to learn. Is it true in your country that the farmers are under stress? In India it is true that farming, the modern farming, the way we do agriculture today, makes our rural community under stress. Rural community, much of India lives in the villages. Here we are giving you the data, 72% of the population of India lives in the villages. And farmers obviously live in the village. Farming cannot be done in the cities on the roads. It is done on the farms. So they live on the farm. And I am keen to learn the farm size in India is very small, majority farm size. I have given you the data here, 83% of the farmers of our country are smallholder farmers. They own less than 2 hectare land. And many, if you go in Bihar state of India, the farmers own many a times 1/10 of a hectare. It is such a small property, and through that they have to make a living. And ecological farming, to my understanding, is the only one which can give them, and I said, sustainable and respectful living and livelihood through agriculture, and they can survive. Provided there are certain other facilitations given. So what are those? I will come to you when I interact further. I would have loved, if time permitted, to ask each of your country whether these things are true. But I will spend only one question. Are farmers' ownership of land is how many hectare in each of you? Average I am talking, majority I am talking. So if we start with Afghanistan, can you give us approximate?
Farmers?
Yes, how many are majority farmers smallholder or they are big farms? What is the property size? Approximate, average?
And I know about farmers, they're
Yes.
in lower because they have lots of stress and lots of problems of farming
Okay.
systems, and they don't have that much facilities for their farming systems.
what is the size? A farmer owns how much hectare, for example? Approximate. You need not give me exact figures. Very big farms.
No, not that much big farms. Very
Small
average.
Yeah, average. Can you give a digit? What is that average? Can you say 1 hectare, 10 hectare, 100 hectare, like that?
Yeah,
10 hectare? Okay. Well, you are from India, but I would love to know how about on the island situation?
4 to 5, sir.
4 to 5 hectare or acres?
Yeah.
Hectares. Okay. My Myanmar friend, what is the farm size? Approximate size of a farm? No, it's the small ones. Or you can give me range. 80 million. That is the number of farmers in your country. What is their land size? Farm size? Field size? Approximate. Maybe some of 2 or 3 hectare. Friend from Fiji.
Yes, we also small farms, work about 2 to 3 acres.
2 to 3 hectares. Okay.
Yes. So from the
Would
point
you like
of
to
view,
say something here?
yes, from the point of view of Northeast India,
Yes.
yeah, actually we have small farmers and kind of farmers who have kind of a larger portion of land. But the situation of agriculture in Northeast India, particularly from the state where I come, it is Nagaland. It is just sufficient. They don't have surplus production. It is just for the home consumption, though they will be having kind of a considerable area of land. And right now the situation is that people are getting their children educated, so they are leaving those agricultural lands and it is lying fallow. And so how best we can also use those lands for maybe other purposes. Like
No, problem in fact, yeah, please, Sri Lanka.
Most of my smallholders, farm, they have less than 1 hectare.
Okay.
In Thailand, almost less than 2 or 4 hectares.
2 to 4 hectares. Bangladesh.
Actually, I have no exact data at
Yeah,
present.
you need not give me. Just give me a gist of it.
Maybe less than 1 hectare.
Small farmer are more than 80%.
Yeah.
And land is
Less than 1
Less than 1 hectare. Yes, yes. Two or three. Okay. So I think I can safely say that we all come from countries where majority farmers have very small holdings. Can we say that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. This makes my presentation very, very relevant to you all. This is what I assumed, and I'm happy that's what I thought, and it is almost correct in most of the cases, except in Afghanistan, where you feel your farmer have about 10 hectares. Maybe I request you to look at it and then see it. Okay. So, how can the common challenge for all of us is, how can make our farmers survive, have a respectable life, have a good life while living in the village? And how, see, majority, for example, in India, majority people are poor. When we, majority Indians live in villages, and among that, majority are poor, or a good number are poor. Poor road connectivity. But different thing that has changed